You're listening to Metal Attack MTL with Double D here on MetalMessiahRadio.com.
Welcome to Metal Attack MTL. My guest right now is drumming legend Vinny Appice, and right now he's got a new project going on called Kill Devil Hill. You're working with Rex Brown, formerly of Pantera. And I guess my first question is, how did this whole project come to life?
Well, actually, in a nutshell, it's a long story. Came off the Heaven and Hell tour, and I had that big giant drum set. So I wound up killing my shoulder, so I had to get shoulder surgery. So right before the shoulder surgery, I went in and did 13 drum tracks for Cleopatra Records, different feels, different tempos. So I had all these cool drum tracks. Drum sound was great. And then the hospital called and said, we can get you in Monday for surgery. So I went in, came out, I'm in a sling, I can't play. So I go, now what am I going to do? 6 months of this. So I started using these tracks. I had Jimmy Bain come over, bass player from Dio. And me and him worked together on putting bass to these songs. And then got the name of this guitar player, Mark Zavon, and called him. He came down and started working on stuff, putting guitars down, and it started sounding really good. And he played me a tape of the singer, Dewey Bragg, unknown guy. And I said, that's the guy. And it's awesome the way he sings. So he came down, and things pulled together. Then it didn't work out with Jimmy. We were looking for bass players, so I heard Rex was looking for something. I know Rex for years from played a lot of festivals with Black Sabbath and Pantera in the 90s, and called him and sent him some stuff. He loved it, played on it, and he just filled the gap, It just came together. So now the album's due to come out May 22nd.
So it sounds to me like Kill Devil Hill is, in fact, your band. You're like the driving force. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I'm a team player, so this is like a four-way thing, We're all equal members of the band. Rex feels that way, too. It's Rex and I. We've been in the business a long time, so we're known guys, and then there's Mark and Dewey who are not known, but we want it to be a team, and that makes a good band,
How did Dewey first, when you first asked him to join the band, what was his reaction initially?
Well, he was freaking out. First it was just me, not even Rex, and he's going, wow, I got a call. Vinny Appice, wants me to sing on this. He's telling his friends, and then he got used to that, and then Rex comes in the band, and he's like, oh my God, Rex is going to play bass maybe, and blah, blah, blah. So he was freaking out.
Well, yeah, you guys have a really, I don't know if you would agree with me, but listening to the samples of your tracks, I would say you guys have sort of a new grunge sort of hard rock sound, and I like it. I really like what you guys got going on there. And you guys just finished doing a bunch of dates down in the U.S. Last year. And how did the fans react to the material?
Fans loved it. I mean, it was like just a tour to go out and tighten the band up. There wasn't really much advertisement on it. The album wasn't out. So some of the gigs were great. Some of them, were what they were. And we had a great time. The fans loved it, And they don't know the material yet. So, but by the middle of the set, everybody's rocking out, and they get it. So that's a good sign. So it was a cool thing to do.
All right, well, one well-known fact about anybody who knows about Vinny Appice, you spent a good chunk of your career working with legendary Ronnie James Dio. Tell us about how you first met with Dio, and how did that come about to you joining to Black Sabbath?
Well, actually, a couple of months before they got in touch with me, I got a call from Sharon Osbourne, and she said Ozzy's putting a new band together. And we heard about you, and we'd like to fly you to England, hang out with Ozzy, and possibly do this band. But I was pretty young at the time, and then I asked my brother. I said, "Isn't Ozzy nuts? Isn't he crazy?" And my brother Carmine says, "Yeah, he's pretty nuts." So I turned it down. It's really weird. And so I turned down that offer.
This was back in the Rick Derringer days?
No, this was 1980, 79, 80. And when Ozzy was just putting the first album together, it was solo career, Blizzard of Oz. So I turned that down. Then a couple of months later, I get a call from Black Sabbath. And I was out of town, and I called them back, and they were in town. So I went and met the tour manager, and then I met Tony Iommi came in. And he had one of my albums I did with a band called Axis, which was right after Derringer. And he said, I like it, and, come down and play with us tomorrow. So next day, this was in California, in Los Angeles, went and played with them. And I wasn't familiar with the Heaven and Hell album, so I just heard Neon Nights on the radio a couple days before, and I wasn't a follower of Rainbow or anything, or Ronnie James Dio. But I heard Neon Nights and wow, that singer sounds awesome, man. It fucking fits right in there, really awesome. And then a couple of days later, we're in there, and they go, okay, what song do you want to play? I said, how about Neon Nights? Because I knew kind of how it went, And then I met Ronnie, and we just hit it off, really, really well. Because he's Italian, I'm Italian, we're from New York, and we both like tuna fish sandwiches. So, something in common.
So, after Ronnie James Dio passed on, how hard did that affect you personally, and career-wise?
Well, it was really, really hard because Ronnie was a leader. He was older than me, and he was like my father figure, a leader, a teacher. So to see somebody that strong go down, somebody who always was strong-minded and did what he wanted and did what he thought was right, to see him go down and something like that, it's amazing. It's just like, wow, shocking.
Were you in touch?
A dear friend.
Did you keep in touch with him up until the end?
Yeah. We were in touch, and then, I just got a call saying, you got to come to the hospital. He's not going to make it, and it was really, really shocking.
Okay, so, now to.
It's interesting. The first song I played with Ronnie was Neon Nights. And the last song we played, the last show we did was in Asbury Park, New Jersey, in 2009, and the last encore was Neon Nights.
Whoa.
So that was the whole journey with the same song.
Something pretty cool there. Well, it's kind of sad too.
Yeah.
Now to it's more sad news coming about the Black Sabbath, out of the Black Sabbath world with Tony Iommi now diagnosed with lymphoma. But I heard things are looking up health-wise on his end. Have you been in touch with him? Could you give us? Could you confirm that for us?
Yeah, I've been in touch with him here and here via emails. Not recently, so I'm really not up on what's going on. I heard good things, and I heard everything was looking forward and positive, and they caught it early, and so I just send my best to Tone and always think about him and keep in touch. Yeah, it's just too soon after Ronnie for something like this to happen.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Must be terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the drum wars going on with your brother Carmine.
Well, Drum Wars is something we wanted to do. We did a video, in the 80s, late 80s, and we did one performance, and we videoed it, and then we did interviews. It turned out to be a lot of humor in it, We released a DVD. Back then it was a VHS tape. And so then we wanted to continue doing it. We never had time with both our schedules. So we finally put it together, and we just started doing some gigs last year. We did about 10 gigs. And so the way it formats now is it's more of a rock show. It's the two drums set up like this, facing each other like a battle. And we go out and play. We got 3 drum duets that we wrote, really cool things. So we open with one, and then actually we open with 2 of them, and then we bring a band on. We play some Dio, Sabbath, and then we do another drum thing, and then we bring on the band, and we play some of Carmine songs from his history. And then at the end, we do a couple more songs, and then we just tear it up in a major drum battle. And it's exciting. A lot of people that came to the show, they never see anything like that.
Yeah, so it was successful then?
Yeah, it was successful. So we're going to Europe next week. We got a couple of shows in Europe, in Brussels, and then in Hungary. And then we go back to Europe at the end of the summer.
So you're going to be really busy. I imagine, too, with the album coming out from Kill Devil Hill, you guys are going to add some dates as well?
Yeah, so we're going to tour, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm always happy to be busy.
Busy man. All right.
Doing what you love.
There you go. So one last question before we finish this up. I always like to ask this. If 2 bands fucked and Kill Devil Hill was the child, which 2 bands would be the parents?
Well, they have to fuck real hard, and it would be Black Sabbath and Alice in Chains.
I love it. All right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Appice.
You're listening to Metal Attack MTL with Double D here on Metal Messiah Radio.
Are you guys ready up there?
All right. How did you guys
remember all that. Man, those songs are really complicated. It's great. You guys are tight. That's smoking hot guitar player. Give me a number. Awesome. All you guys are awesome. And actually, like Jason said, you know, the songs are so busy, there's so many parts of the song it's hard to remember. So what you should do is balance out those songs with some heavier, slower, maybe vibe kind of songs. You guys hit on a couple of riffs that were slower. It sounded really heavy. Then when you go back to this really busy stuff, it makes it sound bigger, you know? So you have a balance of the two. But it was great, you know? You guys are really tight, good playing everywhere, good drummer. Need more bass drum in the PA, but awesome, man. So keep it up, keep it up.
Judges, please.
Hey, you guys are awesome, man. I like the turnarounds and the on-time things you're playing. You got a kick-ass drummer behind you, really fast. Maybe sometimes too much of the double bass drum but awesome.
You know, we also changed that for the second album.
Yeah, but it was cool, man. The change, the timing, and all that stuff was really good. I would say again, maybe try to write some songs with a little bit more groove in them, then go to all the presentations and go back to the groove. So it's something to latch on to with the audience and stuff. But it was great. I thought you guys had a good style, you know, kind of like Bam Big Country a little bit with that Scottish thing going on. I don't know what it was. It's got a good style, you know? I really enjoyed it. You guys kick ass.
One more time for Trainwreck on guitar! And now everyone's favorite part of the evening, judges!
That kicked ass. You guys really kicked ass. That was tight. That was powerful. That was like a fucking machine, man. Awesome. We're not worried. Great front man. Right there. And I never heard the band introduced like that before. Yeah. I love it, man. You guys kicked ass.
Judges, please!
I never saw so much hair on stage ever. And my neck hurt. Jason wants to buy some hair.
Careful, Wick.
That was really good. I mean, you guys are different. It was like operatic, and it was cool. It was a little like Queenish, you know, here and there. And, I thought it was cool, man. It was alright, you know. And I couldn't hear the bass for some reason up there. So, crank it up.
He was faking.
Yeah. Anyway, good job. I thought it was cool.
Again, a huge round of applause for our special international guest judge, Mr. Vinny. Thank you so much.